what's up, Roxstars? It's Rox with a little bit of talk about what's at the top of the blog, so let's get to it. I say I'm gonna take some time off, y'all.
All the cashiers, they was like, somebody stole her truck. It's like you could hear it all throughout the store.
This Rox coming to you today with a review for Love and Marriage Detroit, Love and Marriage Huntsville, our book 4, Real Housewives of Atlanta. Let's get to it, shall we? All right, you guys, before we get started, just, the hair is big today because I washed my hair and I didn't put any products on it, and I let it air dry with the intentions of styling and doing everything later. And then the news dropped about Puffy, and I was like, I gotta do this video, but it's late in the day. Joe had my car because his car is messed up, and so I just was able to get into the studio. It's starting to get dark, but I'm gonna try to get this done. And yeah, you'll be seeing this first thing Saturday morning. So that's the reason why you didn't get a video. It's always something, child. I know y'all sick of me. Anyway, you guys, why are we here? Well, we're here for Top of the Blogs, but this information dropped earlier today, and I was just like, I've got to talk about it. I've got to talk about it because I know you guys saw that video. I posted it on my Instagram for anybody that may have missed it. But if you're on any kind of social media, you have seen this video. CNN did release today a video of Puffy. Okay, mama named him Sean John Combs. They released a video from 2016 where he is beating up Cassie Ventura in a hotel in Century City. Now, if you guys can remember back when we read over the documents on a previous Top of the Blogs, you guys know that Cassie did talk about an experience at a hotel in Century City where she basically was fighting with him out in the hallway, or not fighting with him, but he was hitting on her and beating her up in the hallway. And remember, she talked about how she was trying to get away and the hotel staff and all of that. When we heard about the hotel, this happening in the hallway of the hotel, I figured that there was probably going to be some surveillance footage. Okay. And sure enough, they definitely did have surveillance footage. And I don't know how long it's been held. I don't know if it was released recently or if, CNN was just holding on to it until the very right time. But the time has come, child. And they did release the video. They put it, they talked about it actually on a news segment on CNN, and they also put it on their social media. And yeah, you guys, if you guys saw that video, I saw that video, I was like, that's it. That is it. Puffy is always going to continue to have his diehard fans and everything. But as far as just the general population, people are going to be done. If you weren't done with Puffy before this, I think that this is now where people are going to turn into, the very same ways that they have been with R. Kelly. Because like I said on Bondi's video, she was talking about it on Instagram earlier, and it's one thing to hear somebody talk about something happening to them. Person can describe it even in great detail, and even though your imagination, you can pretty much see what they're saying. You still have to make a choice whether or not you believe that, because you can't always believe anything until you've seen things for yourself, the proof of it. And so while I believed Cassie, and, but there were still many people that were not really sure, or, just wondering how he could get away with things like this for so long. But I don't know how you can really turn your back on video proof. That video of that man chasing her, well, she was apparently, the way they described it, they said that Puffy got very drunk one time and was upset with her and ended up hitting her in her eye, hitting her in her face and giving her a black eye. Apparently he had fallen asleep. She got her stuff together and she tried to leave the hotel. While she was at the elevator waiting, she should have got on them stairs, you guys. But anyway, while she was waiting at the elevator, he must have awakened, heard that she was gone or something, and jumped up, ran down the hall, came to the elevator, hit her, punched her. She fell down on the ground. I can't tell if she was like awake or, you know, if she was knocked out, but he kicked her a couple of times, gathered up all her stuff, and then tried to drag her back to the room. So the video is kind of chopped up in different ways, so you can't really tell what happened, if he actually did indeed get her to the room or not. But there's another frame where they show her, he pushes her in a corner, and then he's throwing, like they said, there were glass vases that were in the hallway. He's throwing those at her. And I mean, it's just awful to see, you guys. I mean, heartbreaking. Can you imagine? I'd never want to imagine something like that. I mean, this man, this big man who's bigger and stronger than Cassie, you know, beating up on a woman, just, oh, it's terrible. And to see that video and actually see it, I don't know how you can now say you don't believe it. Okay, because now we've got video proof. Yeah, it is totally a wrap for Puffy. Now, I just told you guys, just in my last video, how Puffy is trying to dip his toe back into the social media waters. He is trying to see how people are accepting him. He had just posted the other day. Remember, I couldn't remember what it said. Well, it said time tells truth. That's what he had posted. Yeah. Couple of days later, yeah, time does tell truth, right? 2016, and now we're in 2024, 7-8 years later, and yeah, we saw the truth. We saw the truth. Sorry about that. That was Jada calling me on FaceTime. But anyway, yeah, I don't know how people can still say that they don't believe it. I don't even understand the whole, why is this just coming out now? Like, what difference does it make when it came out? You're seeing that it happened. And that is the only thing that matters here. Whether or not it happened, we have video proof that it happened, and people are still doubting, they're still trying to find a way to possibly blame Cassie. Why did she stay? Why did, you guys know, I don't know what is going on with I don't know what's going on, but I keep on getting these FaceTime calls, and Jada's like, I'm not calling you, and I don't know. But anyway, made me lose my train of thought. You know, old people you can't keep interrupting old people. But yeah, you know, that's what's the most infuriating when I look at the comments. You know, most people feel for Cassie. Most people are saddened or horrified to see this video, but you always have those ones that are still trying to find some sort of doubt. Or again, why does it matter when it came out? The girl said what happened. Okay, she ain't said nothing else about it. The very next day, Puffy paid her, I'm sure, a very large amount of money, and thinking that that was going to make the problems go away. And that was just the beginning. That was just the beginning. Okay, not only did he pay off Cassie because she deserved it, all right, all these multiple other lawsuits have come into fruition, and we know that Cassie is working with the feds to bring Puffy to justice, and it's just, man, you know, I think that he was starting to feel comfortable. You know, Mother's Day, he posted all those posts, and I saw he had 30 and 40 and 50,000, many thousands of likes, many comments, many thousands of comments and everything. There are still a lot of people that were supporting Puffy. But it is hard to watch a video of a man beating up on a very small woman. And, you know, I don't know how you still can continue to love and support him the way that many people do. Man, that shit was terrible to see. Terrible to see. You know, why would she stay? I don't know. Maybe she was afraid. You know, at some point, it ain't even about the money no more. Now it's just like, fuck, am I even going to be able to get away? I mean, she explained all the scare tactics and how hard it was for her to get away, and how he would send all the people behind her and, you know, make her feel like she was never going to be able to have a life without him if she did leave. Okay. And the best opportunity, this is awful to say, but the best opportunity for her to leave was when Kim Porter passed. And he was so preoccupied with grief about Kim that she was already gone, right? She was already gone. However, she returned for a little bit just to kind of help him through that. But she got the hell on. Like, she wasn't really trying to stay. I think she was just really feeling sorry for him. But that during that time he was so preoccupied with what happened with Kim that his mind was not on her. And that was the best time for her to get away from him, find a man that actually did love her and start her family and move on with her life, you know. So the why did she, you know, and then the whole tearing a black man down. Why are people saying that this man did this? Nobody told him, nobody made him do the things that he did to Cassie. Okay, we can't keep falling back on we tearing a black man down mantra when the black man has done it to himself, or any man, any person. You know, you doing these kind of things, and if you doing it in the hallway, you know, and many, you obviously was not worried about anybody seeing it. You didn't think that anything was going to happen to you, and all that time nothing did happen to you. But yeah, that shit was still there. I'm telling you, these surveillance videos, these cameras, between the camera phones and different cameras that people have all over their houses and their businesses, and just even on the regular streets, driving down the streets. The fact that we have these videos now, you cannot, it's hard to get away with things now. You cannot, it's almost impossible. Somewhere it has been captured. And he didn't know that at the time, but you know, what a difference a day makes, right? So yeah, you guys will have to let me know what you think about that. If you did see the video, you know, were you as appalled and horrified as I was? Because I just was like, you know, and I wonder if people were starting to feel like, well, I wonder if CNN and, you know, the feds and Cassie's team, and I wonder if everybody was starting to feel like he was starting to get a little too big for his britches, and let's knock this nigga back a peg or two. Okay, because yeah, it did come out. This video could have came out a long time ago. It could have came in support of the paperwork when Cassie had posted it. I mean, when Cassie had filed it and everything, the video could have very well come out then. Okay, but yeah, they held on to this video and they waited to let it go. Now that it is out there, you know, the people are. It is a wrap. It is a wrap for Puffy. And if I was like friends with Puffy, or, you know, anybody within his circle, I would be concerned. You know, I just was actually, when I was scrolling through YouTube earlier today, I saw that Impressive was talking about, you know, how people are wondering if Jay-Z might be involved, you know, him keeping a very low profile while all this was going on, him canceling parties and canceling all these things. You know, I never even thought about Jay-Z. Like, I didn't put Jay-Z, I never thought of Jay-Z being a very close friend of Puffy's or anything like that. Yes, I've seen them at each other's parties, you know, Puffy's come to the Rock Nation parties and brunches, and you know, I've even seen Jay-Z support Puffy in certain things, you know, maybe not mostly recently, but you know, a while back I've seen them together, and I never have put those two together, but there's rumblings that, you know, Jay-Z and I was just like, Lord, I surely hope not. I surely hope not, you know, but it's Hollywood, and there's so many weird things that go on in Hollywood, child. I mean, you can't put it above nobody no more. You cannot. It's just so many weird, traumatizing, abusive, like, what is going on? What is going on, child? I know good and damn well we don't need to hear something about Jay-Z. I just know we don't, child. But it's going to be interesting to see all the people that are directly and indirectly affected by what Puffy has done, or what Puffy was allowed to be able to do for many, many years. People that may have been watching and turning a blind eye. You know, in today's day and age, you even guilty when you associate with them kind of people. Like, it's just like, why were you around them? So you start seeing like all these big names that have been attached to Puffy. Men and women, okay? Men and women who have been attached to Puffy, and you just wondering how, you know, how everybody is going to fare in this situation. It's just, in some of our faves, I just would not want any of our faves to be caught up in this stuff. But, I mean, Puff was a fave of mine, you know, and I just see that and I'm disgusted. I am disgusted. And if he's capable of doing some shit like that, yeah, why is it that hard to believe any of the other stories that, you know, she said in her lawsuit? I just, this has just been, I mean, I was shocked. And that video is so graphic and triggering for anybody that's been on the side of domestic violence and, you know, abuse like that. My heart goes out to Cassie and many other victims, you know, all the victims of domestic violence and abuse like this. It's just like, oh man, I promise you. And my heart also goes out to his kids because, you know, you love your parents. I'm sure them kids love their father. You can't choose your parents. You can't pick your parents. You love your parents because they're your parents. They're what you know. And, you know, Cassie did say that he hid a lot of that shit from his kids, but, you know, maybe the younger girls, but you know, Justin and Christian are also implicated in the case the case that Lil Rod has brought up, or the filing of the lawsuit, I should say, that Lil Rod has done. You know, so, it's so many people that's affected in all this. So many people that's affected, like I said, directly and indirectly, and it is just really too bad. It's like we might be seeing the falling of a damn empire if this stuff goes any further. I'm just flabbergasted, child. I just looked at that video and I was just like, oh man, this is a wrap. It is so much of a wrap. These people today have no patience for this kind of thing. You know, folks is always looking for a reason to cancel somebody or be done with them anyway. And then when you give them a reason, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. Again, he'll always have his diehards, but for the most part, Puffy can hang it the fuck up, okay? And yeah, he can keep all these different videos of him coming through the storm and everything. He can keep all that too. Listen, he may have been forgiven. He may have asked for forgiveness from God. That's between him and his God. But in the court of public opinion, honey, the people is not going to forgive that. So yeah, that's all I'm gonna say on that. You guys let me know what you think about that. That video was just heartbreaking to see. And I am going to move on to the next story. I guess I'll throw this in here because another person that I was wondering was going to get caught up in all the drama surrounding Puffy is Jennifer Lopez. Okay. Jennifer Lopez being his ex-girlfriend. And, you know, we always wondered why she got the hell on after that shooting at the club. And Shine ended up taking the fall for it and going to jail for many, many years. I didn't even realize Shine was in jail for that long. But yeah, he was in jail for that long. Jennifer Lopez got the fuck on, changed the whole trajectory of her career, honey. She was no longer doing hip hop and R&B and all of that. You know, she was moving on from J-Lo from the block, you know, into you know, that's when she got with Mark Anthony. Well, not right then, but after that she got with Mark Anthony, and then she was on her whole Latina kind of thing, and she's tried to kind of stay more in them waters, Latina and pop waters, and quit fucking with the whole hip-hop scene. But now that she had been, you know, when Lil Rod said in his paperwork that she would be the one to hide the gun in her purse and took it in there, although there are some things in those documents that Lil Rod did file that just seemed very outlandish and far-fetched. It's not really that far-fetched to imagine a woman taking a gun into a club for Puffy because, you know, Puffy's a man, and most of the time men are getting patted down. Even though he's Puffy, I can't imagine him doing it, but Puffy's still not going to take that chance. But back in the day when we used to go to the clubs, like the women, they didn't even check us. Like, you could have a whole bunch of shit on you, you wouldn't get checked. They wouldn't even look in your purse like they do now, you know? So yeah, it is not very far-fetched to imagine that Jennifer Lopez could have been the one that had the gun in her purse. So I've been trying to keep my eye on, like, you know, the people, the far reaches of Puffy. I've been trying to keep my eye on them and seeing how things have been going for them since this lawsuit has come out. But anyway, J-Lo in this concert, so you guys know she's had that album This Is Me, and that was supposed to be like this whole album that's talking about, I guess it was supposed to be like her Lemonade. okay, from Beyonce. This was supposed to be her lemonade, talking about her relationships, the things that she's been through, all of that. And then I guess Jennifer Lopez probably was looking at the success of all these huge tours last year. We saw Madonna on tour. We saw Beyonce on tour. We saw Taylor Swift on tour, made big, huge numbers, selling out and all of that. We got Nicki Minaj and so many tours going on now, right? Because nobody is making money on sales of albums and music anymore. So now it's like we got to get out there on the road. That's the only way that you really can make some good money. So J-Lo was like, and not saying that J-Lo is in need of any money. She's set. She's fine, right? But, you know, she probably still, you ain't never been too rich, right? So, yeah, she's trying to get out there. She wants to have these huge epic tours the same way the ladies that I just told you about are having. But the people have let Jennifer Lopez know that, no, they don't want it. As a matter of fact, you can keep that shit. This is me. We don't give a fuck, you know? So, she's having very low ticket sales to the point where her team is concerned whether or not, I was just like, y'all gonna end up having to scrap this whole tour. Child, they done dropped the tour tickets in some places down to $10. Okay. And at that point, they just really trying to fill the place, trying to get some seats filled up in there. But how embarrassing would it be for Jennifer Lopez to be having all these arena concerts on this tour, and they have the whole top half of the fucking arena blocked off as if you was at some damn comedy show for some local cop comedians or some shit. Like, this is Jennifer Lopez, okay? She's performed at the Super Bowl, you know, and it's just like, and this is where we are. You know, so Jennifer Lopez has had some bad press recently. I don't fully know the story, but I did read up, or I remember reading a while back that Jennifer Lopez had got into some sort of confrontation via social media with an influencer, okay? And I guess she had made her feelings known about this influencer, and I guess people were bullying the influencer. You know how fans can be, you know, they went and bullied the influencer and all this. Anyway, the influencer ended up dying, okay? And I don't know, I'm not sure if it was from suicide or if there was just some illness, or I don't really have the particulars. But the optics on that does not sound good. You know, Jennifer Lopez had some issue with this person, and then a couple of, you know, shortly after that, you know, she died. And people now were trying to, not that I'm blaming Jennifer Lopez, you know, because she didn't kill the girl, but, you know, a lot of people are saying that Jennifer Lopez, you know, treated this person this bad way, and then, you know, the person ended up dying. So yeah, just the optics on that whole thing has not been good. So Jennifer Lopez has gotten some bad press recently. And yeah, now this whole concert tour situation, they said in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and in Denver, Colorado, I think they said it was the worst. Like, they ain't sold nothing, no VIP tickets. Like, they are having a really hard time getting these tickets sold. These VIP packages and all that is just not, and I'm surprised, like, because, you know, people love to go to a tour and support, you know, and if you are a big enough artist, yes. And I would have definitely guessed that Jennifer Lopez would be an arena artist, because she's had plenty other tours and they've done very well. So yeah, I think Jennifer Lopez is also getting caught up in that vortex of bad luck and shit, you know, just kind of like the fall off from stuff that's going on with Puffy. Also, they're saying that there may be some trouble in paradise with her and Ben Affleck. I don't know if that's true or not. I mean, they seem to be fine. You know, the people that I know that might know them have told me that that he actually loves Jennifer Lopez a lot, but he's very annoyed with the fact that he has to deal with the paparazzi and all of that. Like, if it could have just been him and her, then he would be much happier, but he's always looking annoyed because he's just always annoyed with all of the fanfare around him, which was a lot of the problem that he had when they first were together. You know, just the whole big Jennifer Lopez and, you know, what did they used to call them? Benifer and all that. Like, he was over it. And now there's starting to be rumbles that he might be back at that place. But I don't know if that is true or not, if that's just people just talking. But And I hope not. Like they look like they were happy and all, but Jennifer Lopez is a big vehicle. She's like she's a lot, and I'm sure that can be very taxing and tiring when you just want to go and get something to fucking eat. Go down to the yogurt store and get something, and you got to worry about what you look like on camera. I mean, I would imagine it would be all that with Jennifer Lopez. So, and even though he is a huge star on his own, but dealing with Jennifer Lopez, like, I just know it's probably a lot for him. So yeah, there's that as well. So yeah, that's what they're saying, you guys. Jennifer Lopez is having a hard time getting these tickets sold. And the team, I was like, they might have to just let it go, child. They just have to let it go. Maybe she can group up with some other people. What's Shakira doing? I know Shakira's got her own little issues going on right now. But, maybe she can hook up with a few other people and, give the people what they want. Look, you got Missy, Busta, and Sierra coming together. And they're 3 huge artists, but they was able to tone the egos down a little bit to try, let's get to this wet. Like Stevie J used to say. Okay, let's get to it. And that's going to work fine for them. And maybe she needs to do something like that too. I mean, sometimes you just got to call a thing, baby. The folks ain't trying to spend their money to come see you like that anymore. I didn't think that we was at that place, but here we are, you guys. So yeah, y'all let me know. Are y'all going to go see Jennifer Lopez on her This Is Me live tour? I mean, if you are a J-Lo fan, baby, you better get on them $10 tickets. I mean, I ain't mad. How embarrassing, right? All right, you guys. Anyway, next story. Anyway, let me get off of here. We do this every single week. Okay, so make sure you thumbs up the video, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you come back.